Shabbat Shalom. It is the Shabbat inside of the Feast of Tabernacles, where we step away from the normal Torah portion and we focus on Exodus 33 and 34. Just like on any Shabbat, we step away and we look at the bigger picture of God's redemption plan. And this passage, Exodus 33 and 34, has the greatest cluster of the word grace, both in a verbal form and in a noun form in the whole Bible. And it's a beautiful passage. It comes on the heels of the golden calf sin. And we see that Moses had shattered the tablets of the 10 words and is now speaking with God. He's in prayer and communion with God concerning forgiving Israel and the Lord continuing with his people in spite of this horrific sin. And I just want to read a few passages here. This is from the ESV. Moses said to Adonai, starting with 33:12, "See, you say to me, bring up this people, but you have not let me know whom you will send with me. Yet you have said, I know you by name, and you have also found favor," that's that word chen, grace, "in my sight. Now therefore, if I have found chen, or grace, in your sight, please show me now your ways, that I may know you, in order to continue to find favor in your sight. Consider too that this nation is your people." And Adonai says, "My presence will go with you. I will give you rest." And Moses said to him, "If your presence will not go with me, do not bring us up from here." This reminds us of where Yeshua says, apart from me, you can do nothing. So this is Moses' voice to Adonai, acknowledging the truth that without God, they don't have a chance. There's no point. Verse 16, "For how shall it be known that I have found favor in your sight, I and your people? Is it not in your going with us, so that we are distinct, I and your people, from every other nation on the face of the earth?" And Adonai said to Moses, "This very thing that you have spoken, I will do, for you have found chen, grace, in my sight, in my eyes, and I know you by name. Ve'eda'aka b'shem," that's that word b'shem. "I've known you by name." What we learn here is that Moses has a relationship with God by faith, and he seeks grace. He seeks to understand the values of God's kingdom. He seeks to understand the attributes of God's character as his priority, and he wants to make sure that he is properly identifying chen, grace, in God's eyes. Moses is not interested in his own clever invention or his own creativity. No, not at all. He's interested only and focused only on discerning what God values, what is true in God's eyes. That's what he says, if I have found chen, if I have appropriately identified grace in your eyes, not in his own eyes, in God's eyes. And the Lord reassures him, yes, you have identified this correctly. Why is that important? And it's also in the context of Shem, name. I have known you by name. Does that mean God knows his name is Moshe? That's not what is meant here. God knows Balaam's name. God knows Esau's name. God knows Cain's name, or Korach's name, or any evil person's name. It's not about the name. It's when it says, I have known you, B'Shem. It's character, covenant relationship. It's like with any relationship you have that is genuine, is built off deep knowledge of one another's character. And that is the core foundation of relationship, is character that is shown to be enduring and reliable and true and consistent. So Moshe learns here, and he is reassured from God that he indeed has identified grace, chen. And we see Moses' heart here is to abide in that grace, to continue, that I will continue to find grace, to identify and hold and cherish what is good and true in your eyes. Moses wants to be reassured of the endurance of his covenant relationship with God, and that Israel, the flock under his care, is not seen as separate from Moses' own relationship with the Lord. So on this Shabbat within Chag Sukkot, the day, today happens to be day 6, if you're reading the scripture today, take some time to pause and look at the word for grace, and to know, verb to know, knowledge, and also name. These are good keyword studies you can do as you look at this passage. Shalom.